It's really dark. And I'm like, hi. Okay. There we go. All right. Hey, everybody. So welcome back. And we are back with the mason bees because I want to show you all how quickly they have progressed in filling up their tubes with pollen and eggs and mud. And it's really awesome because the last time you saw us, we were putting the eggs or the cocoons out and we just set them up here.
Before you start, can you tell us if you happen to know what day of our live broadcasting it is? Right? It's day 35. This is the end of our 5th week. Tomorrow starts 35? Our 6th week of our daily live broadcasting at 6 p.m. Pacific every day. YouTube.com/Wolfcamp College. We need another 180 something subscribe in order to get to 1,000. Then we'll be able to broadcast out in the field away from the house and unveil the Wolf Journey or Earth Conservation course here at Wolf Camp at Blue Skye Farm.
So anyway, I'm going to bring this close and you can see there's a few cocoons left. I actually added more this morning because I want them to keep progressing. So each one of the females will fill up a couple of tubes, like 2 or 3 tubes before she dies. And so if you keep putting more and more cocoons out, then you will keep the pollination happening for longer. And so you can see how active it is. And it's really cool because what they'll do is they'll climb in and they'll drop off a bunch of their pollen and then they'll come out. And then they will back in. This one's having a little trouble. Oh, can she do it? Can she do it? Oh, this one looks like she might be trying to back in. I don't know. Sometimes they have a hard time doing it. But anyway, you can see like this one right here that has really dark mud. This one is actually one that has just been mudded today. And then we've got some that are really light down here. They've been completely filled for a couple of days. And so what I do is I just pull that tube out when it's filled and I add a new tube in. So these tubes down here are all brand new tubes. And so we'll just keep on cycling through until I fill up everything I can and the ladies are done for the season. And then we'll switch over to our leaf cutter bees.
All
so
right.
That's the story.
And
rolling.
The big news, though, today is that we are about to have our 2nd year of honeybees. And standing with us is our friend Dave. I was wondering if you can introduce yourself and why. How is it that you came to bring your bees here last year? I think that's kind of an interesting story.
My name is David Dempsey, and I brought my bees here last year. I had them at a different location for a little while. Last year was my first season. And that kind of fell through. People didn't like having 20,000+ bees around their house for whatever reason. So I put out a message on Facebook, and Kim and Chris said, yes, we'd love to have you at our place here at the farm. And that's kind of how it started.
Yeah, and why is it that you had to bring it here? We were a particular distance away and all that. That was really interesting to learn about.
Bees have a rule. It's called a 3 foot or 3 mile rule. So you can move a beehive 3 feet in any direction for the most part, and it doesn't really affect them at all. But if you move it, say 6 feet, they can't in the hive. They know where that queen was when they left. And so they can't find it. So what you have to do is if you ever have to move a beehive, you move them 3 miles or more. And what that does is the bees in comparison to where the sun is, they understand that they're further than a day's flight away from where they originated, from where they started at. So it's too far to fly. They won't do it. And what happens is in their head, they change their internal GPS to wherever they end up. And so they'll reset that.
And it was pretty cool. Last year we had our 9-bark was amazingly in bloom. And as soon as they came out, they would just beeline it straight over there and just loved it.
Yeah, that was cool.
All right. Well, do you want to do any other introduction before we go get them?
No.
Okay.
I think I'm ready. I've been waiting for this all day.
All right. Yeah. When did you get them? Like, when did they fly? Did they fly in? Fly in today, or?
Yeah, I got them today. I got them about almost 1 o'clock, right around.
And of course, last year we lost some of the bees, or both hives, because there was a lot of stress on them.
We lost the bees. I had gotten hurt last year, and so I wasn't here during that time of the year when the mites were bad and it was a lot more wet.
The yellow jackets
were crazy. So I think that was part of it. You know, I really can't say.
And so you ordered these from California somewhere this year?
I ordered them from the Pierce County Beekeepers Association, so people that I know there. And they go down with a trailer, with a horse trailer, fill it with bees,
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And haul them all back up here. And then
the Pierce County did?
The Beekeepers Association.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah, people of the association.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I pulled up to their house this morning, and there's this trailer full of bees, and you can hear it. Like you can hear it from the road, you know. And so we were social distancing, and they brought it out to my car and everything, you know. But yeah, the whole trailer full of them. It was pretty neat.
That's
it was a lot more than I.
Well, let's go get them. Let's see them.
They're ready.
All right. They're going to love it with all our cherries in bloom. Yep, we've got all our blueberries are in bloom. We've got apples in bloom, plums in bloom. It's looking pretty great. Oh my gosh, and the elderberries over there, those are so fragrant, the red elderberry.
Oh, yeah.
And the pears, sorry, the pears in bloom.
Oh, yeah,
all right, let's see what you got. Oh, wow.
So here is our bees for this year.
Oh my gosh.
And it's kind of funny, they've been hauling this little piece of string around all day.
What is that all about?
I don't know where it came from.
Just one bee that's into it, I guess.
Look at that string.
He's just been hauling around looking for somewhere to put it.
Oh, I can hear them. They're so loud.
So
do you know what kinds they are?
I'll have to look again. Okay. I can't remember. But this is our queen. She's in a little box hanging inside there. That's why they're all grouped right there in front of her.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, it sounds so cool. I don't know if you guys can hear any of this.
Oh, yeah, they can hear that. All right, let's do it.
Cool.
So they had quite a road trip.
Yeah. They're pretty, you know, they're bees. They've been around for a long time. They're quite resilient. Put them in a work.
Oh, yeah, and our aronia are in bloom. Oh, there's so much in bloom. The quince are in bloom over there. Got our apples in bloom. These guys are going to be so happy. And here's the... Did you make these hives?
Yeah, I built these hives. Actually, it's a kit you can buy. Can I say where I got it? Okay.
Sure.
I buy them through a company called Man Lake, MANN Lake, and they're just everything bees.
Okay.
They ship everywhere, and they send this kit completely unassembled and unpainted, so you get to put it together, and you can paint it any color as long as you use the right kind of paint, and blah blah blah. You know. So yeah, it was really fun putting it together because then I know what's going into it.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Okay. I'm going to start up the smoker just so I have it.
Mm-hmm. And that'll help keep them calm.
Yeah. What it does is when you give them a little bit of a splash, in their brain, they say it's a fire, and so they want to move away from it. So if I want them to go down into the hive, I'll smoke over the top of them, and they'll want to go down into it. Okay. That's how I'm going to get them to go down into it.
Nice. And I'm just going to show everybody the... Dave brought over a couple of. Oh, we should watch how he's putting that together.
Oh, yeah.
And what do you? Oh, obviously just some dead leaves.
Dead leaves. Nothing. You know, it doesn't have to be anything special as long as it'll make some smoke.
Mm-hmm. Dave also brought, as you can see, hanging up over there, a jacket trap. And it only captures yellow jackets. And we just want to make sure that the bees aren't quite as stressed. The yellow jackets would sit right on exit and entrance right here and just wait for any bees that were kind of too full of pollen and lethargic.
Oh, yeah. Or they wait on the ground right here?
And grab
them.
It was horrible to watch.
It was so disappointing. All right. I'm going to do these one at a time. So... This has two boxes here, but the top one is empty. There's no frames in it for them to do anything with. And the reason I do that is so that once I get the bees in here, I'll put that box that they're in here.
Mm-hmm.
And any bees that are still inside there, they'll go down into the hive.
Okay.
So that's pretty much that. And then this is just a simple syrup and exotics just to kind of keep them healthy. They're, went through a pretty good transition.
Yep.
So I spray it on them just so that they're too heavy to fly.
Mm-hmm.
So that when I tip it over and dump it into the hive, they just have to fall. And they're like, oh, that's tasty. Doesn't hurt them. And actually it prompts them to eat. It's got an appetite enhancer in it. So it should help.
Hey, do you want to let everybody know how many bees are in each box?
Each one of these is a 3-pound box, and it's about On average, about 10,000 bees per
Awesome.
box. So we're about to dump 20,000 bees.
Should we stand any place in particular?
Wherever you're comfortable.
Okay.
Close as
That's
possible.
totally up to you.
I've been stung before.
I don't have long sleeves on, but I'll be all right. I'll just breathe through it. And by the way, if you did get stung, anybody, plantain leaves.
Yeah, they're around.
Yes, we'll have to grab some plantain. And that's not the banana plantain, by the way. It's going to be one of the plants that we talk about coming up sometime in one of the broadcasts as one of the top 5 wilderness first aid herbs.
So this is a jar of simple syrup. It's 1 part water to 1 part sugar.
Oh.
And so
it's all around me.
Yeah. It's like, all right, you let us out. So actually, I'm just gonna put this in here and let them have it.
I think they're memorizing us.
Come on, not in the ears. So here's our queen. We need to get her in there first. They don't like when you mess with the queen, though.
No.
So here's our queen.
Hey, babies.
Cool.
And they're feeding her through the little screen. So I'll shake them off here, and you guys can see.
Awesome.
So she's inside there. There she is.
Wow. That is so cool.
Wow, there she is right there.
Cool. Thank you for showing us.
So I'm gonna try and mark her through here, but it might be too deep. Yeah, I don't want to color all over.
Yeah.
Normally, there's a little a queen catcher. It's almost like a hair clip, and it grabs onto. It's just a little in confined space for her, and there's a little hole in there where you can mark her, and it just helps for later on in the year as there's 20, 30,000 bees in here. You can kind of make sure she's still hanging out. So what I do with her is she's got a cork in the end here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So they can't pull that cork out. It's in there too good. And what's going to happen is I'm going to put her in here, and they're going to get used to her smell in here. And then in 2 days, I'll come back and I'll take that cork out and put a marshmallow in there.
Oh. So
they'll eat the marshmallow so she can get out, and then they're already in the rhythm of, doing their thing. So her flames apart, just any of them, and kind of towards the middle is fine. And I want to put her in here so that the screen is facing outwards to the open area this direction, so that they can still come and feed her while she's in here.
Cool.
So turn this, and you want to just kind of set her down in there. And then I'll make sure she's turned there. See how I turned the screen sideways, and then I'll sandwich her in there. She's in there. All right. Now for the fun part.
Like, how close do we stand for this?
Let's go back just a little.
All right.
Okay,
Have you been stung yet, by the way? Just curious.
Many times.
No, I mean today.
Oh, I mean today.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Not yet, I don't think
Well,
so.
I know. We were stepping on them last year a little bit.
Yeah. I
Here
think
we
one
go.
of them. That's loud.
And she's already in there, so they want to be in there. There's so many still in there. Come on, guys.
So they're going to love it right when this hawthorn starts blooming.
So I'll just leave
Just about to.
for now. They're going to kind of dissipate down into there. I give them patty. And this is nutrients and pollen and stuff like that. It just kind of gets them kick-started.
That looks really sticky.
The funny thing is, and this may sound weird, but it's actually quite tasty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little bitter, like it's got lemongrass and things like that in it. But yeah, it's kind of tasty. I wouldn't eat a lot of it, but I'm just going to cut this.
Oh, it's like orange fudge.
Yeah, almost like marmalade. That's kind of marmalade. Like an orange marmalade.
Little friend over there.
Yeah. Wanted to see himself in the
yeah.
Computer camera.
So I'll put actually just a half of one like that in each one of these. So that's pretty much it. I'll put the top on here, and that's, they're in.
Okay, great. We'll keep watching while you do it.
Okay. I really like them to just kind of move their way down into the hive.
Another look.
It's pretty windy out
There they go. You can almost hear them change tone when they realize they're being smoked out.
Anyway, as Dave is continuing this process, I just want to mention to everybody it's the beginning for Earth Week, the 50th anniversary of Earth Week. And the first celebration was April 22nd, 1970. And so we're going to be doing a bunch of broadcasts in honor of 50th anniversary of Earth Day. It's coming up this Wednesday. And as a matter of fact, on Wednesday itself, we're going to go walk the Puyallup River Walk and check out the birds and the plant families there. Tomorrow, I'm thinking about setting up our portable solar array.
Oh, cool.
And that's all you got to do. And they'll all come up here and eat on it.
So they're still down in the box.
They know where their queen is.
Oh, so they'll just come out and go over there. Okay.
Yep. Actually, I'm going to put this on top.
Oh, with the hole facing down.
Well, I'm going to put the lid on, and I'll just put it like this so that they can come out real easily.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll work their way in there.
Oh, yeah. I can see them just running along and heading right in that hole. That is so cool.
So there's a notch back here so they can get up under the lid and get in, through the back.
Now they're starting to come out of the just like that. This guy is walking along the ground down there. Jeez. How you feeling about him right now?
Yeah, good. I feel good. They seem like they're not real overly irritated. They stayed in the hive with the queen, which is good. And these ones, they'll work their way out of there. Sooner or later, most of them will have no problem getting out of there. But they'll stop. But they'll start talking.
Great. I'm going to make one more shameless plug while we're watching the transition to the next one. Are you going to do the next one here in a couple minutes? Which is we need everybody to get their friends and their family to go to the Wolf Camp and Conservation College YouTube page, which is youtube.com/Wolfcamp College, and subscribe in order to get 1,000 subscribers. In order to we then can launch the Wolf Journey Earth Conservation course, one field experience, study experience every day while people are social distancing. We're going to provide that complimentary to everybody studying at home, so you can get outside 20 minutes a day and learn these earth skills, starting with Trail of the Neighborhood Naturalist, which I wrote 20 some years ago and am now reformatting for an online format. And we're going to have a daily broadcast launching each one of them, just like we're doing with this. Although I'm thinking about 6 a.m. Pacific instead of 6 p.m.
I'm usually awake at that point anyway.
If I say I'm going to do it, then I'll have to get up. So, good time for people on the East Coast and around the world to be able to then do that field exercise that day. All right, next one's up.
All right, let's do this one.
And so they know their individual queens back and forth between hives.
Nope. Yeah, they know who their queen is, because realistically, they are her. Those are her. Those are her kids. They grow. Bees live about 6 weeks max, and so she's constantly laying, and that's why you need to have a good queen that's going to keep laying.
Right. And there's no problem having them
Nope, they know. It's kind of like an apartment complex. You stay in yours and I'll stay in mine.
Well, I want to thank you also. Last year, you provided us with an amazing jar of honey. I know that one of them didn't produce much.
But thank you for that. That was
I started using it here in late March, kind of in preparation for allergy season. And it was the best tasting honey I'd ever had. Maybe it's just because it was all the plants from right around here.
Could be. Definitely. Having local honey makes a difference. And you're right. Allergy season is important to have this because really it's introducing your community to your system, you know? So again, we're going to pull this queen out of here and get her in there.
wow.
So they're just all being slaves, essentially. Let's see if we can see her in there. Yeah, she's big.
Oh, she is big. Holy mackerel. Wow.
I've heard the worst place to get stung is in your ear. I can vouch for that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Do you find that as long as you just don't slap at them, that it's not that big of a deal?
Yeah, they're pretty. Most of the time, they just kind of want to see what you're doing. Here, real good, so she doesn't fall. Now, you shake these.
You step back for that.
Like everybody says, don't bug the bees.
And did you squirt these guys? Oh yeah, I guess you did. Wow, look at them pour out of there. It's just like having
stirred them up a little.
Flour sifter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand back just a little.
Really crazy. Yeah, I don't know if you all can see how many bees are flying around there.
Is there a lot?
Well, it feels like a lot.
Yep. Well, this will be the first year that we've had honeybees here early enough to pollinate some of our orchard trees.
Oh, yeah.
In the past, we've just relied on the mason bees, which have always been the workhorses of pollinating our native mason bees, which are wonderful. But I was worried about it earlier this year. They just weren't.
Not in years.
It was so cold at night, or something wasn't quite pollinating as they were. But now they're looking pretty good.
Number 2. So happy I've got this tripod. It is so nice and loud over here. I love it.
So I had a little extra honey laying on top of one of these. I decided to leave it.
Oh, cool.
So this is from last year. I figured, the bees, they'll clean it up and they'll actually make sure it's sterile and put it in the hive. They'll use it.
Wow.
Good. Not the ear. Not the ear.
Well, in addition to what you've shown us so far, are there any other kind of advisements that you would give people who are thinking about? I know it's a lot of work, and so it's not something to do without. First of all, where did you take your training?
Online. I did a lot of research for about 2 years. Oh, come on. Oh, I want to put a pollen patty in there.
Oh, yeah.
I did online research, just kind of on my own. No room to it other than I really wanted to be a beekeeper. I've wanted to do that for a long time, and our environment definitely needs it.
Oh, yeah. So you didn't take that course. Kim, what did you take at Pierce County? Was it the Washington State University?
Oh, was it over at Wazoo?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do it the first Monday of every month.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
and that's where Kim decided it was so much work. She was just going to switch to mason bees.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, but like you said, we get to experience the bees, and I'm standing here with, no beekeeper suit on or anything.
Yeah.
It's just they don't really bother people, and it's a misconception. As I said.
Just as Dave said, someone's just going right for my forehead.
For the most part. But yeah, it just was a passion to help the bees and do something different. I'm a mechanic, and so this is a lot softer than banging on steel cars. And it's just it's nice. It's nice to come here and hear the bees. Just their sound alone is tranquil. So it's quite fun. They're all
I see there's a bunch of them on the ground too.
Yeah,
so will they just kind of
I sprayed
flying?
them, so they're...
Oh, once they dry out, they'll start flying
Yep,
again.
they'll start flying.
Yeah, and so that's the restrictor, you said.
It's called an excluder.
Excluder.
Or excuse me, yes, it's an entrance excluder. And so I put it on this wide slot here, so lots of them can come in and out. When winter comes, there's a different one that I can put in there that makes this entrance smaller so they can conserve energy and heat and all that for the winter. But for now, I'll just put this in.
Well, it's mid-April, and oh, you got one on your head. I got to show everybody.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
What a cutie pie!
You have one in your head?
Wait, yeah, I got to show everybody with the other camera too. Hang on. Okay, well, this is a great way to end.
Is it? Where is it?
Oh, just flew off.
Aww,
I think they got it on Facebook.
Friend.
We'll see. But anyways, I want to thank everybody. I'll just go over here. I want to thank everybody for joining us today and for the last 34 days prior to this. And just want to encourage everybody to get outside. Even if you live in an apartment, go out onto your porch, get some pots, throw some dirt in there. You can get some from underneath your lawn. Dig a little sod out of your lawn, get some dirt from under there, see what's there anyway. And try to get outside 20 minutes a day. Makes a huge difference. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
All right. Well, happy Earth Week, everybody. Looking forward to celebrating together with you. Thank you very much, Dave.
Yes, thank you.
That you keep your bees here. It is wonderful.
Thank you very much.
All right. Be well, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.